we get to the leftovers of the spring season going into summer, with our first one being Shirley Ann. Also, this is another slice of life I just love. Again, I bring it up again. This is probably the biggest concurrent, like the biggest example of the one of how following just a singular character throughout their life and on their day-to-day life is going to be the most beneficial thing in terms of story-wise stuff. Because watching Shirley Ann go through life, man, I just want to root for her now. I just want the best for her. And it sucks because this episode was just all about how, yeah, like, she is at Redmond and she's doing her best life. She's, creating roots like she wants to in Redmond. But it's obvious that there are other people who are still moving on and doing their own lives. Diana's gotten married. Jane's gotten married. All this stuff. Like, everyone is going on with their own lives and doing their own thing. And while, yeah, she is at college. She is doing her stuff. It is a bit sad, man. It's a little sad and a little depressing to see her long for somebody. Now, here's my problem. She has that person, but she doesn't want to. Because the biggest thing for this episode was just the fact that Gilbert really wants Anne. It is obvious to us, and it's obvious at this point that Anne does want Gilbert, because Gilbert was talking about how he was sending letters to Ruby, and Ruby got a little bit jealous. And Gilbert was doing a little thing, tying his shoes and trying to get at her, but obviously Anne said no. Anne is trying to be avoidant, and at this point, I actually genuinely don't know why. Like, this is probably the only thing I sit there. Like, if I was the father, I'd sit there and I'm just like, Anne, baby girl, sweetheart, we know you like him, but why aren't you just shooting your shot? And to be fair, it's fine if she, obviously didn't like him, and it's fine if she wanted to pursue stuff. That's obvious. I'm not sitting there being like all the other ladies in the previous episode that was just like, oh, you don't need an education, you don't need a man. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that it is obvious you get jealous when he talks about other women. It is obvious that you get sad sometimes when he leaves and he's not around. It is obvious that you look at him longingly and you have genuine conversations that you enjoy. And it is obvious that this man makes you blush. You are not hiding it well. It is obvious that you like him, but what is holding you back? And I get it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to ruin the friendship and stuff like that. It's like, but you know you like him and you know he likes you. And you know what? No, I'm not even going to say that. Because then the other issue that I have with this episode is how Jane was. Oh, bro, Jane and Anna Shirley were just having this, sleeping over, and Jane was just pressing her, being like, hey, just so you know, do you have feelings, for my brother? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, oh, well, he's really shy, but he's definitely had the hots for you for a while. You sure you don't? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, oh, I knew you wouldn't. But he has money, and he's nice, and he's sweet, and I promise that he can give you everything you want. It's like, and it's just like, dude, no. And even then she's like, I hope that he's not too heartbroken. And Jane just gives her this disgusting side eye of being don't worry, my mother has suitors that she thinks is far better for my brother than you are. And it's like, it might have not been that aggressive, but bro, I sat there, I'm like, hey, Jane, if your brother can't at least muster up the courage to actually go and at least ask Anna Shirley for herself in their hand in marriage, then brother, maybe he shouldn't. Cause there was another dude, right, when they were having their little get together things where they were having at that Green Gables, where a dude was walking Anne home, and sure, Anne was distant as shit, but at least the dude tried. At least the dude tried to do something. It was obvious he was trying to shoot a shot in some form of way. So at least he tried. Your brother didn't even try. You giving Anna Shirley the side eye? Girl. And then you add on say you know. Well, if you know, then why'd you fucking ask? Oh, wow. That I just remember having to pause that because I got genuinely upset. This is how you know I care about a character, where I start just monologuing to myself in my room, 1 o'clock in the morning, going off being like, well, girl, of course she didn't, and you already knew the answer, so what are we doing? What are we actually doing where you go off and you want to be a little sassy with your side eye? And I get it, that's your brother, you're trying to be a good sister, but you know the answer. You already know how Anne's gonna react, and it's not even a well-kept secret that Gilbert and Anne are like they have something. It's not open, and it's not like they don't want to acknowledge it. And Gilbert's like someone acknowledging it and trying to push it, but Anne's not. But it's like not a secret. So like, what are we doing? Why are you being like this? Why are you being a drama queen? Why are you acting like this? I don't need petty people who know how to do this. So stop it. Stop being so sassy when you know the answer, because obviously you didn't. So don't lie to Anne's My God, this is why I can't be. This is why I can't be a dad. Because if I saw this from if I saw someone doing this to my daughter, brother, no, you can skedaddle. Come back around the next day, try that again, and add that with a little bit spice of apology for my daughter for assuming you could even try to push this on her when you know damn well she couldn't. I'ma stop. I'm getting heated. Jesus, you could tell like my switch up for this show from thinking that it was okay to like me wanting to watch this every season because of just how I reacted there. When I could go on for 5 minutes about ranting about protecting a certain character, you know I'm in love with the show. I am currently writing a script right now on how this should just be the anime community's favorite girl. Anna Shirley should just be the kid. Like, this should be the must protect at all costs girl. This should be like just the favorite, like the wholesome pick. This should be the wholesome pick. This should be the one that we cheer on and we all want to protect. But like, again, just focusing back on the episode was good. It was a good episode. Another good episode. I need Gilbert and Anne at some point in the next 3 episodes, and I'm being generous with that. Because realistically, it should happen sooner. But the next 3 episodes, I hope at least there's an acceptance of feeling. An acceptance. I need Anna Shirley to just accept the fact that she has some feelings for Gilbert. And once we have that acceptance, I don't care what you do with that. Because feelings can fade, feelings cannot fade. Just accept the fact that you have these feelings, and we can move on with our lives. If Anna Shirley could do that for me, I'd be a happy man.